If you watch my channel at all, you know I love a good sauce. And one of the sauces I've been wanting to make was Nana's old recipe. This recipe is probably back from the 30s or 40s, I would say. I believe it was actually her mother's recipe. Could be even earlier than that. But when I was a kid, I'd go over there and we used to put this mustard dressing, all kind of things, from ham to chicken to turkey. It was always on the table when I went over there. So I've been trying to work on recreating this recipe for keto. There were a couple of ingredients in there I just couldn't use. And so I've been working to perfect it, and now I finally have. So today I'm gonna show you my Nana's mustard dressing, and believe me when I tell you, you're absolutely gonna love it. Stick around. Now Nana used to do most of the things inside the house. My papa would garden. He'd bring in vegetables, she would can them. She would make homemade jellies, jams, pickles. She would make everything to preserve all the stuff from the garden. And then she would make all kinds of homemade sauces. And one of my favorites is this mustard dressing. One of the things it goes great with is the corned beef and cabbage recipe. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it. But it really goes good with any kind of meat. It's absolutely delicious. So let me show you all the ingredients you're gonna need to make this 100-year-old or more mustard dressing recipe, and let me know what you're gonna try it on. Here's everything you're gonna need to get started. Now the first thing you're gonna need is just some plain yellow mustard. I use this Great Value kind. You can use whatever kind you like, but so far I've found that all mustard is pretty much created equal. But I always look at the ingredients, because you never know when one of these big food manufacturers is gonna try to slide sugar into something that shouldn't have sugar in it. Next, you're gonna need some of this Splenda Magic Baker's Blend. This is my absolute favorite sweetener right now. It's super clean. You can use whatever sweetener you like. Just make sure that it doesn't have sucralose or maltodextrin or anything like that when you look for a sweetener. Unless you're good with sucralose, and if you are, then use it. But definitely check the label and make sure it does not have maltodextrin or any other kind of sugar. The next thing you're gonna need is some almond milk, and make sure you check the label on this because a lot of manufacturers will throw seed oils in there. Why they do that, I have no idea. But also make sure it's unsweetened because they'll also dump a ton of sugar in there if you don't watch for it. The next thing you're gonna need is some of this white distilled vinegar. Now I normally get this at Walmart and I will buy it by the gallon because we use a ton of vinegar in things. And it also makes a great cleaner. And if you got some weeds, it's a great weed killer also. The next thing you're gonna need is some salt. Now this is the Redmond's Real Salt. It's mined right here in the United States. You can also use the pink Himalayan sea salt, whichever you prefer. Now I wanted to show you Nana's original recipe card. And let me know in the comments if you like me showing things like this. This channel is for you, so I wanna make sure that you get to see what you wanna see. And if you don't like stuff like this, let me know. But I doubled the recipe that I showed you just now. This is the original. When I went to my mom's house to find this recipe, she told me she was actually the one that wrote this recipe down in her handwriting. If you can see in the top right, Nana put down yellow stuff, and that's what we called it. We called it yellow stuff. She said mustard salad dressing. You can have it on a salad, but if you see at the bottom, it says beat until it's fluffy. And so if you're making a salad dressing, that's really good to do. When I make it with the corned beef and cabbage or any other meat, I just like to stir it all up together, and I don't really beat it or whip it. I think it's better that way for that application. Now if you like these sauce recipe videos and you're not subscribed, click the button right down there, subscribe, hit the little bell beside it, and anytime I do a new video, you'll know about it. So now let me show you how to make it and how it all comes together. The first thing you need to do is just take a pint mason jar like this, and you're gonna go ahead and add your mustard in first. So we'll put in the mustard, and I'll leave the recipe as I've adapted it right down below so you'll have all the measurements for it. I think you're really gonna love it. The next thing I'm gonna do is put in the almond milk. Now you can always use some heavy cream also, but I would do half heavy cream and half water if you're gonna do it that way. And now the next thing we need to do is add in the vinegar. So some good white vinegar, whatever you have, put it in. Don't use apple cider vinegar though, it won't taste right. And then, last but not least, you're gonna put in your sweetener because it does have a sweet little tang to it. And so I'm gonna put in that, and you know, if you like it a little sweeter, just go ahead and put a little more. If that's not sweet enough, just dump in the rest of the bag like I did. It actually wasn't that much more than what the recipe says. And then the last thing you're going to do is add in your salt, and just do that to taste. But the amount that I have down there and how she made it, I believe was perfect. And you're just going to stir it up. And if you're going to use your beaters to beat it until it's light and fluffy, this would be the point you do that. I've done it both ways, but if you make it, let me know what you think. If you like it better light and fluffy, or if you like it better stirred together just like this. Try it with that corned beef and cabbage for sure, or any kind of meat that you might like. Now once it's done, this is the consistency that you're going to be looking for. It really does go great with any kind of meat, and she even put on the bottom of it, good with chicken. So make it like this, whip it up till it's light and fluffy. Either way, it's going to be absolutely delicious, and I hope you enjoy. I'm going to put a couple videos over here for you of ideas that you can make to put this mustard dressing on. And if you know somebody that likes sauces as much as I do, share this video with them so that they can make it the healthiest way possible. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.